Hello bros and welcome to SFX0 Bro for Production and next part Sakura Forest Girls 3. So we just gonna jump into where we kind of left off last time. Well, everyone going to bed. Mika and Coco cuddled up together, both of them in their underclothes. Mika spoons Coco from behind, one perfectly about her torso. Their bodies fit together snugly, like puzzle pieces, and gently sighs escape their lips in tandem. Coco's blonde hair still tied back in her customary pigtails spill across the pillow like flowing corn. Her long eyelashes are closed, casting shadows upon the smooth sheets. I think they're fallen asleep already. I can hear Coco snoring, though gently, her regular exaltation stirring her fluffy bangs. They look awfully cozy. It's clear even at a glance that these two were made for one another. They're almost perfectly in sync, even in their slumber. I wonder what they're dreaming about. I can't divine dreams, but I can imagine, given the way their bodies are intertwined, that their thoughts will be similar, filled with one another. Wait, has Maya ever had those clothes on before? Or have we have never seen Maya before she goes to bed, have we? Because I don't recognize those clothes, at least. Well, isn't this a sight for sore eyes? Maya smiles adorningly as she watches them, one hand beneath her chin. Coco and Mika are all over each other. They make quite a cute couple, though I am beginning to feel like something of a third wheel. Same here. They're so clingy. Ah yes, of course. Maya's eye catches mine across the tent and coyly she grins. I suppose we are all third wheels in this little spectacle. That makes me feel somewhat less lonely. Though I am jealous. I wish I had a cute girl who might warm my bed during these cold nights. Are you cold? Anna looks at Maya with concern, her blue eyes soft and gentle. I think it's quite warm tonight, but if you need more coverage, you can have one of my blankets. That is very sweet of you, Ayana dear, but it's not extra blankets I am after. No? No, what I want instead is you. Your body would soon suit my chills, not to mention the pangs that I beset my poor heart. I spent so much of my life in isolation, it's quite galling to be presented with closeness such as Mika's and Coco's. I would not be boorish enough to impose upon their happiness, of course. No, that's a surprise. But it should be alright if I impose upon you. You're close after all. Now come to my breast, Diana, and give me a big hug. I would probably interfere in this moment. Maya spreads her arms wide, but Diana doesn't rise to debate. Instead, she shrinks back as a flower might in the winter months, her face tinged pink. I am glad you think of me such a manner, but I'm not sure if that would be wholly appropriate. What? Maya pouts. Why not? This tent belongs to Mika. She's letting us stay here out of her goodness of her heart. Being too intimate in her presence would be rude, surely. I don't know about that. Mika's pretty tolerant. She's not the sort to get offended by a bit of skin-to-skin contact between friends. And if she were, it would be grossly hypocritical of her. She isn't doing much to hide her own relationship with Coco. In fact, I almost think she means to flaunt it. If she wishes to make me jealous, she can certainly succeed. It is not fair that a woman like that should get all the pretty girls, while I'm so very alone. Well, you are a few hundred years old, as I have understood it. I understand that, but shh. Anna pressed her finger to her lips, her expression tortured. You're being loud. Mika and Coco might hear us and awaken. Ah, oh, yes. Magnus is to our hostesses. Mika murmurs something in her sleep and burrows her face against Coco's shoulder, but still she doesn't awake. She must be a heavy sleeper. I will try to keep my voice down, but really, I think you're protesting too much, Ayana. Why do you not want to embrace me? Do you mean to make me cry? Please tell me if you do not find me attractive. I shall resign my flirtatious forward. I do not wish to make you uncomfortable. It is not that I find you unattractive, it's just, well, Anna dips her head and shyly toys with her white hair. There is a time and place for such dalliances, and I do not know if I am in the mood. I am thinking about Coco. Anna sighs. I'm glad to see that she is so happy, of course I am, and yet Anna doesn't finish that thought, but she doesn't need to. I know her for long, and I can make an accurate guess what she is worrying what it is that's worrying her. I imagine she's been beset with the same nagging jealousy I have. She's probably afraid that Coco is a bit too content with Mika's company. It's as though Coco doesn't need us at all. I know it's natural that people drift apart, but this reunion isn't quite what I expected. It's bittersweet. Well, never mind. Anna forces herself to smile. I'm being foolish. Jealousy is an ugly emotion which ought to be entertained. Coco is fine. She's better than fine. In fact, she's happy, and I'm happy. I must be happy for her. If I cannot manage that, I have no right to call myself a friend. Anna exhales. She lies down beneath her covers, then draws them over her body. I think I will try to sleep now, before I get too accustomed by my thoughts. Good night, Maya. Good night, Jaja. And I'm sorry to bother you with my foolish rambling. You would be best served ignoring me. As if I could ever do that. You're my best friend, Anna. If you act all moopy, I worry. I'm not mooping. I'm fine. You say that, but... No, I am. Really. Right. I'm not convinced, but Ayana's tone leaves no room for disagreement. I guess I should try to sleep too. I go to my bed myself. Good night, you two. Good night, sweet dreams, and... I offers both Ayana and Ara a sincere smile. I know I act the fool, but I do worry about you girls. You are both very precious to me. If anything happens to upset you, anything at all, you may confide in me. I am better at keeping secrets than it may initially appear. There's a brief pause. Silence settles inside the tent, broken only by Coco's snuffling snores. Thank you, Maya. I appreciate it. In nothing of it. Maya smiles. What are friends for? I curl up on the ground and draw my own covers about me, like a protective shroud. My eyelids fall shut, and as they do, I run Maya's words through my head. What are friends for? That's right. We are friends, Ayana, Maya, and I. And Coco, too. Coco is my childhood friend. She is one dearest companion that will never change, regardless of the passing years. I'm sure everything will work out alright. That is what I want to believe, but... as I yawn as unbidden, another image flickers through the forefront of my mind. Did you say Mika was a friend? So, well, I see a woman standing upon the hilltop beneath the night sky. Her hair is all brown curls, possibly serrated by the starlight. Actually, this picture was pretty good. It fitted my... I actually used that picture as the back screen on my computer because it was just the right coloration for actually fitting perfectly. She wears the translucent blue cowl with the flutters in the cool breeze beneath which is a golden dress. She is beautiful, but it's an irregular, untouchable sense. She glances at me from over her shoulder, her hair fluttering. There is a smile upon her lips, but her eyes, blue like cornflowers, are incredibly sad. Were it not for you and Diana, I would have no friends at all. I am tired of being on my own. I just want somebody to love me, somebody other than Imala. I wonder how Ari feels right now, being so suddenly parted from Diana and I. Does she feel as despondent as I do? I can't help but wish. I mean, I have no problem seeing Ari again, but I mean, I could not imagine this story actually being that we stay in Ari's village, and so technically, because I cannot think of the story going that way, and it seems like the imposes that with that answer that Ari can make some other friends. I mean, even if she's a princess, she should technically be able to have as many friends as she wants. Harry could make some other friends. Then she wouldn't have to be so lonely. I don't feel any guilt at leaving her. I had no choice really, but it'd feel better about the whole situation if I knew she had somebody else to rely on. As it is, however, Aries only has Imola. Will she be alright? I hope so. Harry might be my girlfriend, but she is my friend, and I do not care about her. Mightn't. Okay, alright. Harry mightn't be my girlfriend, but she is my friend, and I do care about her. That it is always weird for me to read mightn't. It would be better if it's said Ari might not be my girlfriend, but it's all about how you read it, I suppose. I want her to be happy, at the very least, even if that isn't with me. Alright, girlies, listen up. I have an important announcement to make. We can protest the following morning once we are all awoken and dressed. Mika is wearing not the luxurious gown she wore the day prior, but the same attire she was in when Ayana and I met her in the forest. Her green hair is tied back in two buns, as is her custom, which are secured with wooden beads. Upon her face she wears a bright smile. Both her hands are planted upon her hips. I regret to inform you this, but we are completely out of food. Silence regains. I look at Mika for a few moments, my head tilted, then I frown. What? Did you not hear me the first time? Then I shall announce it again. As said, we are completely out of food. I did hear you the first time, but why do you sound so happy about it? Isn't that a bad thing? Not necessarily. I look in the bright side. I thought this might happen when I allowed the three of you to reside in my tent. It is to be expected. Now there are 5 mouths to feed, rather than 2. Fortunately, this village is situated deep in the forest. There are fruit trees in abundance, and there's a river not far from here that's full of fish. You should go and forage. I'm sure you return with your arms laden with the nature's bounties. Oh, I see. Is that my job done? Seeing as you're the one with the hunting experience, yes. But I think you should take Ayana and Coco with you. I'm sure you girls have a lot you'd like to talk to one another about without my eavesdropping. You can use this as a chance to have a heart-to-heart there, you see? Mika beams. This is the fortunate turn of events after all. I don't think Maya is happy at all about this situation. I guess you're right when you phrase it like that. I reply after a pause. I don't mind hunting for food. I was thinking that I would like to stretch my legs, and it'd be great if Coco could lend a hand. You must know your way around the forest better than I do. I know my way around tolerably well. I am the one who does all the hunting around here. Doesn't Mika help? Oh no, she's afraid of chipping her fingernails. Coco's eyes. Yes, trying to act consistent host, letting us three speak alone, but it's true she never intended to hunt for food on her own. Ah, I see. That's awfully devious. One must be if one wants to be a merchant. I would never get anywhere if I didn't know how to manipulate situations to my own advantages. It pays to be canny. Or in your case, lazy. Hey, think about. I don't like hunting, it's true, but you can hardly call me lazy. I spend weeks on end traveling searching for potential buyers for my many wares. On the rare occasion I have free time, I would rather relax than go fishing or foraging. I don't want to get sweaty. But you don't mind if I get sweaty? Not at all. In fact, Mika's green eyes glitter. I think you look good when you're shimmering with sweat, my cute cocoa bean. You. Well, there are technically 100 different smells of sweat, and I can honestly say I had experienced that one personally sweat. It didn't actually smell bad. It actually smelled like a little bit sweet, but it didn't smell bad. So, well, you never know. But you need another person to actually see if how you sweat smells, and well, I only know it from because it was one of my ex-girlfriends that actually smelled like that. That's not that's too much information. I have nothing personal against Mika's, unlike Maya, who takes a little pains to hide her displeasure, but I don't want to know all the minute details about her interests. Small obsession with slime was a disconcerting thing, but I think holding sweat in a high regard is even weirder. Well, when skin is a little glittering, it doesn't necessarily have to be from sweat, it can be from even a single raindrop. It does actually look better in some cases. Everybody sweats. What is so special about it? Sorry, I sometimes forget myself. I'm always been the type to talk first and think later. I frequently have wondered whether you think at all. It looks like my hand is on Maya's back. You might have a point there. I'm being serious now, though. We need food, and you three girls need a chance to catch up. It's a win-win situation, I'd say. There are good points. I stretch my arms and crack my fingers. Alright, shall we head out into the forest, Coco, Hayana? Certainly. Allow me to lead the way. I do my best to help. Let's head on out. Then there's a lot I'd like to talk to you about. I think this will be quite a fruitful trip. Ah, this is nice and relaxing. Coco sighs contentedly as she sits upon the riverbank holding a fishing rod in her hand. Warm, pleasant breeze stirs Coco's hair so the blonde pigtails flutter. The sun overhead illuminates the gently running river so it shimmers in prismatic colors. The water laps against the shore and the nearby trees rustle. It's a pleasant sort of scene made all more comforting by Coco's presence. Do you come here to fish often, Coco? Oh yes, this river is one of my favorite spots. It isn't too far from Mika's village and the water is so clear. It's full of delicious fish all the year round and it's quite nice to bathe in. I often sit here when I want to think about things. Hmm? This might be a rude question, but Anna looked at Coco anxiously from beneath her pale eyelashes. Ayana isn't holding a fishing rod unlike Coco and I. She might be more patient than I, but she doesn't really have the knack for catching fish. Ayana feels guilty whenever she manages to land one, and she doesn't like picking the silvery hooks out of their lower lips. I've actually seen a fish once get caught in the eye. That was... that can't have been fun, but at least the fish was meant for food, so at least that got something. I don't like fish at all, actually. I prefer other kinds of meats. She can descale and fillet fish once they're dead, but their flapping bodies and gaping mouths make her cringe. And is very sensitive. It hasn't changed despite all the trials we endure. But I think she's become stronger. If she hadn't doubt, she would be able to posit Coco a question as personal as, "Did you ever think about us?" Now, what kind of question is that? Coco smiles. Of course I thought about you too. I thought of you almost every single day. I was always wondering how you were faring. Really? Yes, really. Why do you look so surprised? I could never forget about you. Oh god. That's quite a relief. It shouldn't be. You should have more faith in me. What do you take me for? Coco abandoned her fishing rod, then ruffles the top of Ayana's head. She ruffles with quite a bit of strength, so soon Ayana's white tresses are rumpled and disordered. Coco, stop. No, I won't. You deserve punishing Ayana for doubting me. I thought we were supposed to be best friends. We are friends. That's why Yaja and I traveled all this way so we could find you. We missed you so much. And I missed you too. I missed you a lot. I am glad to hear it. But why are you tickling me? I'm trying to tickle some sense into you, dummy. Cole's fingers by this point have strayed from Ayana's head. They're scrabbled beneath her underarms, which are sensitive. And about her side, so she squeaks. If this keeps up, Ayana will be in real danger of toppling into the lake. Ayana has a delicate constitution, so I'm afraid she might catch a cold. Should that come to pass, I should probably intervene. Hey, Coco. I chopped the top of Coco's head with my right hand. Cut that out. Ayana was just concerned. And if I'm being honest, so am I. You are? Coco looks at me, frowning. You didn't think I'd forgotten you, did you? Not exactly, but it's hard to not being a little jealous, I guess, after seeing you and Mika. You're both so close, which is a wonderful thing. I'm glad you found somebody you like so much, but, well, it did make me wonder whether we needed to be here. I've been worried. I've been getting in your way. I'm sure Ayana feels the same. Now that you have Mika, you don't really need us, right? Oh, Jaja. Coco sighs. I can understand where you're coming from, but your worries are unnecessary. You and Ayana are my best friends, but Mika is my girlfriend. You're quite different, I guess. I don't know if I feel completely consoled, but it's nice to know that Coco values me. It makes me feel a little less extraneous. So, how did you fall for Mika, Coco? I'm not sure. It happened very suddenly. I could just tell when I first laid eyes on her. I knew she was the one for me. I didn't care that she was another woman. I still don't. I think when love's involved, such things don't matter. Yeah, that's right. You can't help who you fall in love with, right? I guess. I know a little of love myself, after all. I've done throughout my travels. I never thought I was interested in girls either. I never even thought of that as a possibility. Perhaps because all the couples I knew from my own village consisted of one man and one woman. There are more varieties of love other than I imagined. Jaja? Ian appears at me. Are you alright? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Are you sure? Coco, now it's Coco's turn to fuss. You're being unusually quiet. There's nothing unusual about it. Even I can be pensive from time to time. You pensive? Yeah, right. The judge I knew never thought things through. You always charged ahead with reckless abandon, regardless of the consequences. Don't you remember the time we were playing hide and seek and you snuck into the village leader's tent? He was so angry when he found you. Oh yes, I remember that. It was quite a spectacle. Your parents had to apologize on their hands and knees in front of the whole village. What can I say? I was a willful kid. I just wanted to have fun. It's not like I meant any harm by it. You caused quite a disturbance, though despite that I wonder if you mellowed out since then. Would you prefer if I had? No, it's fine. I like the reckless naughty Aja. I knew from my childhood. You always got Diana and I into trouble, but spending time with you was so much fun. I cherish all those memories deep inside my heart. You like bad girls, do you? I grinned and nudged Coco in the side with my elbow. That explains why you hit it off so well with Mika. She seems like she's into some pretty wild stuff. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me, Coco. You know exactly what I mean. She's so obsessed with you, she can barely keep her hands to herself when you're together. I bet you get up to all sorts of things when you're alone. Hey, don't tease me about my love life. That's private. Oh? Apart feigning hurt. But I thought we were best friends, Coco. We used to share everything with one another, remember? Nothing should be off limits unless... My eyes widen. Don't tell me you and Mika are into really depraved stuff. Oh my, is that true, Coco? No, it's not. You're just making things up. She is trying to get a rise out of me. Isn't that what I've always done? I guess. Coco harems cutely. I see you really haven't changed since we were children. You're every bit as tactless as you used to be. I am indeed. But don't act like you don't love it. I'm sure deep down you're happy at being the center of attention. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You act so proper, but you're pretty daring yourself, Coco. I nudge Coco in the side, and she nudges me back, begin to tickle her under her arms, and she yanks on my hair. In seconds, we're upon each other as we were when we were small. We bicker back and forth, hurling insults until Coco loses her cool. Right, that's it. I had enough of this. You need to be punished, Jaja. Take this. Hey, Coco, what are you? I'm begging, but my voice soon cut off. Eek. A loud splash, droplets of water flying everywhere. I feel so disoriented it takes me a few moments to register what happened. When I'm finally fully cognizant of my surroundings, I realize to my surprise that I'm no longer sitting upon the riverbank. I'm instead sitting in the river itself, legs splayed. Droplets of water cascade down my bare shoulders. The end of my long ponytail trails in the water, which has been warmed by the sunshine, and my feet are completely submerged. How do you like that? Coco years at me from the riverbank, her hands played on her hips. Got what you deserved, asking all those personal questions. Oh, this helps you cool your head off, you pervert. Let's go. That's going too far, Coco. I get you for this. Oh yeah? And what are you going to do exactly? Yes. I get to my feet and bound forward. Coco tries to scramble away, but I'm too quick for her. I grab a hold of her wrist and with a serious squeeze yank her into the river with me. I'd like to claim this as a victory, but at last the riverbed is slippery and my foot slides out beneath me. Oh no. I pitch over backwards and collapse into the water with another loud splash. If my clothes weren't damp before, they're positively sodden now. Oh no. I know to her feet, horrified by the spectacle. She stands over to us, her eyes wide with concern. Oh, you're alright. Here, let me help you. I'm sure Ayana means well, but her rescue attempt is soon aborted. She too must have fallen victim to unexpectedly slippery the riverbed is, because she stumbles. Then she falls. Her arms pinwheel through the air, her fingers outstretched as she seeks out a support. But of course there is none. Both Coco and I are lying in the river ourselves. There's nobody to steady Ayana, so she falls. Her silver hair streams behind her, her eyes wide with shock. As with a loud splash, she hits the ground. Now all the three of us are wet. There seems little point in trying to dry off. Maybe it's not so surprising then that less than 5 minutes later the situation escalates as it does. And that's where we ended off this time. Well, I'm aware that they are in their underwear, so I guess they took off their clothes and laid them on the riverbank so they could dry easily. Easier? Actually, as far as I know, if you wear clothes that are a little bit, moist, they actually dry off fast. But that was all I have for Sakura Forest Girls 3 this time. As I see you next time. Bye-bye!